The hit show Baby Reindeer on Netflix, which is shockingly based on a true story, has got everybody talking. And it's forced the woman who the show is about to actually come out and defend herself. And surprisingly enough, it's ended up leaving people even more convinced she did everything the show states she did. But I think the most important part of the picture that most people are missing comes down to how this show exposes just how exploitative the entertainment industry actually is, and how those who want to be a part of it, like Gadds, are willing to literally be abused and violated to get a chance at success within the industry. And since everybody seems to be taking his word on how events unfolded, why is there a blind eye being turned to the most dangerous perpetrator of all throughout this entire quote-unquote of true story? Because it's clear both Gadds and the character Martha are people with serious issues themselves, with one exposing his and the other remaining in denial, as you will see. But they've both essentially paid and are paying the price of their actions. Nonetheless, the one who has the chance to continue to harm and exploit others is being hidden and protected, it almost seems. So, why is that the case? Will we ever find out who the alleged abuser is? Is it even true? I guess only time will tell. Until then, this is what the woman dubbed Martha has to say in relation to the show.
It's a work of fiction, it's a work of hyperbole, as I've always said. And there are two true facts in that. His name is Richard Gadds, and he worked as a jobbing barman.
Have you watched the drama?
Not at all. I've heard about the court scene, about the jail sentences and all this sort of stuff.
But you really haven't watched any of it?
I haven't watched any of it.
You're not curious to?
No, I think I'd be sick. It's taken over enough of my life. I find it quite obscene. I find it horrifying, misogynistic. Some of the death threats have been really terrible online. People phoning me up. You know, it's been absolutely horrendous. I wouldn't give credence to something like that, and it's not really my kind of drama.
When did you know that you were the person being depicted in this? 5
years ago on BBC Breaking News, I saw Mr. Gadds had written a play for the Edinburgh Festival, and he was holding up placards, MP's wife stalker, and all of this, and he'd called it Baby Reindeer. That's all I knew. And I thought, well, I've only met this guy 2 or 3 times. I don't know him. And left it at that. I should have possibly jumped it at that stage.
And when did you know that Netflix were doing something?
2 weeks ago. I had just moved flat, so it was 2 weeks ago past Saturday.
And how did you hear?
I saw on BBC Breaking News that he'd sold to Netflix, and both he and this character, Martha, this Jessica actress, seemed to be promoting mercilessly.
Did you think then it was you that they were depicting?
I thought it was me they were depicting 5 years ago because of this MP's wife stalker article that had been a number done on me by the Sunday Mail 25 years ago when I was going for Donald Du's parliamentary seat. So I had a vague idea then. The Daily Mail then approached me on the Wednesday, 2 weeks ago, so sort of 2 weeks tomorrow. But 2 weeks ago, if you see what I mean, and told me that I was getting death threats online, that I'd been outed as Martha, there were TikTok videos.
Were you online at all? Because you were before, but are you these days online?
I've come off Facebook as of yesterday.
Are you on X, what used to be Twitter?
No, I'm not.
Because you had an account.
Yeah, that's right. Years and years ago. I'm scared to Google up BBC Breaking News. I'm certainly scared to Google up the Daily Mail in case I am on it in some bizarre circus.
That moment you realised it was you that they were depicting from what you were reading. The sleuths, as you say, had found your tweets. They compared some of the phraseology, they'd done the maths, and they worked out this was you that was being depicted. How did that make you feel?
Absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. I couldn't believe he'd done that. And so long after first meeting, you know, we're talking 10, 12 years ago, really horrendous. I didn't know who to trust. I was told by the Daily Mail, don't trust those bleeps in Scotland. Whereas I found John Dingwall of the Daily Record completely wonderful, actually. He's acted with total courtesy. I couldn't believe this had happened.
I want to play a little clip. This is just some of the reaction to Baby Reindeer from members of the public.
She ends up becoming this the craziest stalker I ever seen in my life.
And this is all a true story?
This is all a true story, yeah. And they've found the real woman online.
So I assume in the actual thing, they've obviously given her a different name. It's a different woman, but you know what I find? They always manage to find a similar looking woman, and the build tends to be the same.
I have a theory about this, though. I feel like he's done it on purpose because he knew that people would find her and he wants to make her life hell a bit.
When you hear that, what do you think?
The final guy on there, I think, is correct. I think he always wanted this to come out, to persecute someone, to take attention away from him and this rape allegation. And I just generally think he's got extreme psychiatric problems.
I mean, there's no doubt he has problems. I mean, if you watch given that he's written it about himself, if you watch the whole thing as I did, all 5, 6 episodes, whatever it is, he has a lot of problems. He's quite open about that. The question, I guess, which we'll come to, is how much of the way he depicts you is true. And your position is that it's just not factual.
On benefits in the Holy Arms, and we met 2 or 3 times. Those are the only.
Well, let's go through some of these things. So. You first met him. I mean, the show shows you coming in to a London pub. You've just named the pub, and he's working behind the bar, Richard Gadd, and he offers you a cup of tea. Is that what happened?
No, that's not correct. He didn't offer me a cup of tea. Nobody gets anything free from the Holy Arms. I was in for a meal with a drink of lemonade, and I was very, very hungry. I'm diabetic, so very hungry. So that's.
And did you talk to him?
He interrupted a conversation. There was another barman there, and he said, "Oh, you're Scottish," and basically commandeered the conversation. I was talking to somebody. It's pretty rude to interrupt. So he seemed to be obsessed with me from that moment onwards.
I mean, just speaking to you, I never met you before, but you do look and sound very similar to the actress in the drama.
I haven't seen the actress. We're both Scottish. We've both got dark hair. She's considerably younger than me. I think she's about 18 years younger than me.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 58. I'm a year younger than you. And I think Jessica, the actress, is about 40, 38, 40.
It says in the show that you proceeded to return to the same pub time and again, but you never paid for a drink.
I don't drink alcohol. And
did you pay for anything that you had in the pub?
Lemonade or soft drinks.
Would he give you free drinks? Or?
No, absolutely not. This is sort of a depiction of me as a pauper who wouldn't stand around or stand a drink. It's nonsense.
It says that you told Richard Gadd that he looked like a baby reindeer toy you once had as a child, hence the name of the show.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I appear to have written most of the show in my sleep. I dressed.
Did you have a baby reindeer
I
toy?
had a toy reindeer.
So that's true.
And he'd shaved his head. That bit is true. And there were reindeers in the shops. It was Christmas time or something. It was a joke. So I have inadvertently penned the name of the show.
Right. But that is true.
That's true. That's a true fact.
Whilst bantering with you, Richard Gadd told you he'd like to hang your curtains. Is that true?
This, I think, was a Holy Arms joke about curtains and a lot of sexual...
Say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it true that you caught Richard Gadd looking through your window after he followed you home one day?
False.
You never saw him at your house?
I didn't see him at my house. I think it would be impossible to look through a window.
Did anyone else ever see him there?
No.
So as far as you were concerned, he never turned up at your place?
Correct.
But the Netflix show has him doing that?
Yes, I believe so. I've been told that.
But that categorically didn't happen?
That categorically didn't happen.
In the course of your relationship with Richard Gadd, you send him 41,000 emails, 350 voice messages, 744 tweets, 48 Facebook messages, and 106 letters.
That's simply not true. If somebody was sending somebody 41,000 emails or something, they'd be doing how many a day? Lots.
Well, they'd be obsessively contacting
yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
What did you send him?
None of that's true. I don't think I sent him anything.
You never sent him anything?
No. I think there may have been a couple of emails exchanging, but that was it. Just jokey banter emails.
Netflix have said that these details are the real ones. That this is exactly
completely incorrect.
So you're denying sending anything to him?
There may have been a couple of emails.
Text messages?
No.
Facebook messages?
No.
Did you tweet him?
I may have done years and years ago.
You actually tweeted him numerous times.
No, it wasn't numerous. It was about 18 tweets there or 14
It's quite a lot to someone who's not that well known.
But we were all friends. You know, it was banter.
Right, but it establishes
Yeah.
you were contacted. That's in public.
Yes, I mean, this
Did you write him letters?
Public, no. I think when I saw the rape interview, that's actually incorrect. What I said there, when I saw that in the Guardian, I said, "What a shame! It's not your fault." Something
You
like
did
that.
write to him?
One later.
So you would say you only sent him a handful of emails. You never texted him.
No.
You tweeted him 18 times, you think. You never sent a Facebook message.
That's
And
right.
you wrote him one letter.
Yeah.
So why have they got all these details here which are supported?
Who is they? Netflix.
Who has
Which
sent
is
all
not
these things?
correct. So I'm sorry.
Who has sent all this stuff to him?
I've no idea. I think he's probably made it up himself.
I mean, you could prove, I guess, quite easily it wasn't you
Correct.
because it'd all be on your computer.
Yeah, correct. That's right.
Would you be happy for someone to look at that?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
What do you have? What technology do you use?
Right, what technology do I use? A very, very old smartphone just now because the other one packed up a week before moving. That's it.
Because they're all sent from an iPhone,
Yes, so
but they believe it wasn't actually an iPhone ever being used.
meaning what
Meaning
kind
that
of
someone
phone?
was hiding the fact that they were actually not using it. They were pretending it was from an iPhone.
I don't really understand that.
Well, people can mask where they're sending stuff from.
Okay, right, I'm not technology whiz kid of the year. I wasn't doing that either.
I mean, obviously, when you make such an emphatic denial of the central point of the story, you're basically accusing both him but also Netflix of lying about it.
I am.
And that's pretty defamatory.
It's not defamatory if it's true.
No, it's defamatory that they've been to you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I misunderstood there. Yes, exactly. I don't see how anyone could do 41,000 emails and all this kind of stuff, you know.
I don't know how much you know about technology, but are you aware that if it was you sending those emails, it would be very easy for the police, for example, to work out exactly where they come from? That the IP address would reveal
Yes,
that.
I understand that, and it stays on forever. But the point is, this was years and years ago. We were congratulating him.
But it would all still be there.
Yes, I understand that. Yeah.
And if you sent 41,000 emails,
This is just a lot of rubbish. Yeah, so that should be stored there.
well, they'd all be there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got them.
He's not got 41,000 emails. That's over a year.
According to you,
How
there's
long
only-
would
there's
that
only a
take?
handful,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, how long would that take someone to type up?
How many do you
41?
think you sent him?
A handful.